hello. Good afternoon. My name is Daniela. I work at a company called WebSecurity, a consulting company. I've been doing a lot of full-stack development, but a bit more front-end using React. Also did Angular in the past. A lot of Node.js, but mainly with HappyJS. Also did React, not that much. Yeah, I am a former RequireLX organizer. I do most here and there, so it's really nice to be here. Despite the fact I already talked in some conferences, I believe that this is one of the most difficult audiences. And since that time, I'm a bit nervous, which is weird because I've done this so many times. So I would like to start by asking who's here feels like it's a front-end developer, and raise your hands. Just to have an overview on the room and try to help with the slides that I have so I can manage to guide you properly. Backend developers can raise their hands. Okay, there are some people in the between that don't know yet what they are. Well, I believe that if you are either one or another, or you are here, you have a reason. And who is aware of REST APIs, GraphQL? Okay, yeah, I have some examples with GraphQL, so that's why I have. Okay, let's start. So the first disclaimer is that I'm not, why this is not going to the next slide. Okay, it is, but it's taking some time. So I'm not an expert on web security at all. It's something that I'm reading a lot recently. I've done a lot of stuff in the past, mainly while building APIs, but it was mainly like on the job, on demand. Like it had to implement some content security policy headers or something like that. Had to add some headers, and yeah, I searched for the headers, I understand what was the task, and I did it. But I wanted to consolidate all the things that I've learned and also learn a bit more about this area. And not necessarily security, my world of security, but more focused on web security. So the relationship between clients and servers, and not necessarily how do you implement security in campaign and stuff like that. So, yeah, and when I first, when I first started looking at security, or thought about what I'm going to explore, what I'm going to do, how to start, I thought, yeah, it's about authorization, authentication, having security under the networks, and all this kind of stuff, which seems somewhat of them seems fancy, like, okay. But also why people store their files in Pastebin, or why do you leave, some people leave, I probably did that in the past too, environment files on GitHub or GitLab, stuff like that. So that's where I started. So I wanted to play this game with you, so I don't know if you know I've never, like a drinking game. Come on. So the whole idea is that if you already have done one of the things, you have to drink. But in this case, because I don't want to get drunk by the end of the presentation, the idea that I have here is raise your hand, like we did before. So don't be shy, just raise your hand, help me here. So we can start by the first one that I have here, which is I never changed website URL. So who did this should raise their hand. Not so many people. So you never changed the website URL to see anything? You guys are really good guys. Everyone is really good here. Doesn't do anything bad over the web or try to do anything. Okay, so yeah, this is like an example. I never changed the website URL. But when I started reading a bit, I started to see a lot this name, which I still don't know yet how to pronounce. Next slide. Which I still don't know how to pronounce, which is OWASP, or OWASP, which actually stands for the Open Web Application Security Project. And the whole idea of it is basically a non-profit organization led by volunteers, and those people give some of their free time to work on this project, to enforce security. They have some projects that they run. And from time to time, they release a document where they have the top 10 security issues. The last one was in 2017, and the one before was like 4 years before that, I believe. And the top 10 security issues from the last one were these, like injection, broken canal authentication, sensitive data exposure, XML external entities, broken access control, security misconfiguration, cross-site scripting, insecure deserialization, using components with known vulnerabilities, insufficient loading and monitoring. So this should raise some things in your head. Like, yeah, some of them I already know more or less what they do. What the hell? Who used that module, that NPM module? Come on. Yeah, and there are some examples that I have here that reflect more than one last issue. And actually, let me start with the first one. So, in the first one, I never changed a website URL. Why is this taking so long? I never changed the website URL. It's actually an example of the broken access control. So the whole idea is that changing the URL changes the expected behavior. So you try to get something that you are not supposed to access. So in this case, you have the role of the viewer or editor, and you want to get some kind of other access, maybe admin, maybe other thing. So this is likely something that is a bit difficult to understand. Sometimes what happens, and sometimes it requires even some manual testing. So you need to have people doing penetration testing to understand the HTTP headers, if the HTTP headers are correct or not, what's going on. Sometimes the problems come from not invalidating the right cookies, the right sessions that you have, or even setting the wrong headers. The second one that I have here, it's kind of related. It should appear in 3, 2, 1. No? Okay. Basically, the whole idea is that you are logged in a website. You have some kind of key, API key, and you try to use that key to access some other website that you are not supposed to. So yeah, I tried this. We tried this. Thanks for your hand, giving me some insight. So this one is similar to the last one. You can include one or another, but it's a bit different. And yes, when you do this kind of things, you need to understand that the tests need to go through all the routes. So you need to confirm that authentication is being done on all routes. And even if you are using a GraphQL layer, you need to confirm it's just another layer. It has to have authentication. It's like something that goes and communicates with the databases or some other REST services that you have. It's just a layer. You have to confirm that it's going to be to have authentication also. So I have another one, which is a bit difficult to explain. So you know that HTTP code, which is 401, which everyone knows that it's called
unauthorized.
Unauthorized. Why? Come on. It's authentication. Come on. Who did this? Who did this to us? So yeah, it's regarding authentication, but it's called 101. Yeah, basically, one thing that sometimes I thought when I was looking into this is that sometimes I don't understand the HTTP codes, why is authentication? But other thing that is interesting is that imagine that you are already logged in. You are logged in, but you are not authenticated. And you have a resource to access, but you should not be authorized to do that. If you receive a 403, you already know that the resource exists. Should you know about that or not? Well, I'll leave that one for you. So I believe that most of these came inside the broken authentication. So some of the things that are called here by the OWASP guys is basically that we have to enforce weak and common password lists. So, or the opposite, so help people not to have weak passwords by enforcing two-factor authentication, using of YubiKeys, magic cloning links, and all this kind of stuff that we have. But not only, we should take into account, for instance, into account that the limits, if the person is trying to log in and is trying to recover a password, why is this person doing one of the requests to do that while he's doing this request? Maybe it's not the person that is behind that, maybe it's a bot. So all these kinds of considerations have to be considered. I never used real IDs in URLs. So everyone in this room, which is awake, has to raise their hand here. Come on. So the idea here is that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is like the real ID that you have in the database. Everyone does this. I can't believe if you tell me that you don't do that. So yeah, it's insecure. Yes, I believe it is. Are there alternatives? Yeah, having a mapping maybe through the database, because you are saying, oh, this is my user in my database. But what can we do? Another one, I never set up a certificate, so I did. I hope some of you also did. So certificates are pretty awesome things to ensure HTTPS. And basically, right now we have some solutions, some quick solutions. Let's Encrypt is one of them. It's enforced by some companies like Facebook, so sometimes they think, oh yeah, I use it, but at the same time, it's something that well, everyone should enforce, right? So we want our data to be encrypted. Is this for me? So thank you for this moment. It's very nice. So this one is a bit tricky. So I never used MyCrypt, which is the NPM model, but also it's available in all language, without understanding what salt is. So salt is something really interesting. Who here? Well, I can do double questions, it's going to be confusing. So I never used MyCrypt without understanding what salt is. If you use MyCrypt, you can raise your hand. So these people, I believe, in the first company I was after the university, I used MyCrypt a lot in projects, and I never read carefully what was salt and salt round was, so I used it because everyone was using it. So my slides are in yeah, so salt rounds give some kind of complexity. So imagine if you increase this number, it's going to duplicate the time that you are going to take to create the hash function. That's what I understood from reading it. If I'm wrong, please tell me that. And salt is going to be basically a random value, which is going to enforce that if you have two passwords that are the same, so imagine that I have one password and I have the same password, whatever, which is not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Basically, this password is going to be hashed, and if by crypt or any other user is working correctly, the hash that is going to be created is going to be different. So if someone has access to the database somehow, they are going to see different hashes, so that they will be aware that they will not be aware which password is going to be, or if we have similar passwords or not. There's this interesting thing. Yeah. So if you go to Google, I don't know if you're and you do something like a site. You find pretty interesting results. It's not OpenSD.com, I believe. It's correct if I'm wrong. You have quite interesting sites. So there's a lot of people using this service to copy and paste a lot of lists and so on. Services like this, but many other services. So please tell your friends not to do that because it's really available on YouTube, on Gmail, on Google. And one thing that I wanted to show you here, really quickly, if I can manage to access them. Okay, where is it? Yeah, so the thing we shared. So 1 second. I'll try to be really quick. Maybe it's slow. This is enough now. Okay. So I have some example here. Can you guys see the end of the room, more or less?
If we can just close the fix and zoom.
Yeah, but these some weird configurations now. Yeah. So it's okay. Well,
Control V, Control Z.
yeah. Okay, I believe it's fine now. Okay, so it's the same example we had before. Just wanted to show you that I was not blind. So there's a console log on line 8 and another one on line 12. And if I try to run this with the user and the password that I have here, going to be the same password in the two calls that I'm going to make. You'll see that the results and the hash that are created are different. You can also see that it starts with the same, probably because of the algorithm that is being used. And yeah, that's mainly that I have to show regarding this. What's this holding? So, okay, going back to the slides. So these are examples of sensitive data exposure. Let me find. Okay, examples of sensitive data exposure, but yeah, now you can see my notes also. Great. I had a really nice setup, and then I arrived with, where is Chrome? Okay, I was Chrome. Hold on a second. I'm sure. Okay, I believe it's here. Yeah. Okay. So I was saying that these are examples of sensitive data exposure. Not encrypting our data. It's really important to think about it. Use HTTPS, supports it, use less encrypt, and also take into account that you should not use old algorithms that are already broken, like SHA-1. Next one. This is also like one really well known. So your email as provider, your provider does not exist in our database, giving a lot of details. So raise a hand if you ever did something like this. A stack trace is also valid. Next one. Okay, thank you. So leaving stack traces on in plain text over the website is really bad. But also leaving them in the network tab somewhere in some request it's also painful. So yeah, I was thinking if I should or I should not tell you that I accidentally, not accidentally, I had time, sure. One of the website supermarkets, one of the major supermarket websites in Portugal, and basically I could add anything I want to the baskets of some other person. So yeah, please don't leave it really well. I never set the wrong security address. So yeah, it's interesting that people use cookies, use headers. Sometimes you need to understand what are all the details of the header. So for instance, here I'm using HTTP only, which is going to guarantee that yeah, I seem so popular. Okay. That basically no one can access document.cookies. So basically, if I do documents.cookies here, cookie actually, you're going to access the cookies that are in the browser. If you set HTTP only, that particular cookie is not going to be accessible using this. And you are going to see afterwards how this is important. So there's also some other flags that are really important when setting cookies. One of them is secure. So secure ensures that a website is only cookie is only going to be used if the person is using HTTPS. So if not, the cookie will not appear. There's also some other interesting cookie attributes, such as same site. So I'll leave that one for you to explore. There was some big news this week about that, and cross-site request forgery. And now that can be avoided now with that attribute, I believe. Another one. So yeah, these are examples of security misconfiguration. So when you think about security misconfiguration, you probably first think about databases, the containers that you have to configure all the things, but also how to configure the modules that you're using. So if you're using, for instance, Express, maybe you are using helmets to configure the headers that you are using and the cookies. But all these kind of things. I also would like to note that this one is also really related to another issue, which is using components with the known vulnerabilities. So basically, data collecting software. I'm not going to talk about that one because we don't have one, but it's more or less explicit. So what we need is some kind of automated process to ensure that our configurations are correct in some way. It could be from time to time or not. Another one, I never forgot that users can be mad and leave some room for injection. So yeah, I did this example is mine. Come on. I don't know. Okay, so this example was mine from a small project. So I'm getting, this is GraphQL, so for the ones that don't know, GraphQL is basically GraphQL 3. It's more or less understandable by looking at it. The main difference is that in GraphQL you get, you search for the properties, and I want all the employees, and I want these fields, and I want the permanent independent folder fields, and I can query for them. And the other main difference in comparison with REST is that you only have one URL. And basically, this is the answer I'm getting. The bad thing here is that I left some room for injection because here I'm saying that I allow something, which in this case could be JSON, and I'm using that data without validating the types inside GraphQL. So what happens actually is that I can do something like this, and actually this regex in particular is going to allow me to do some kind of interesting queries, like retrieving all the users, which is kind of cool, but not necessarily legal. It's cool because I own this server in particular, actually this Lambda, but well, we have to think twice. Another one, I never set limits on requests. So this is like a common one when you're creating this authentication page. It is like login, it has password. So I forgot somehow to set the limits on requests. Never. Okay, there's this example and another GraphQL one. This one is really similar. So this is another query in GraphQL, but I'm doing like an empty query. So imagine that I have 1 million employees, and I'm searching for the manager of the manager of the manager. There's already quite a lot of extension models to try to avoid this. But yeah, this is so new that people sometimes are not aware how their data could be exploited so easily. Yeah, so this is an example of injection. And yeah, it's not only GraphQL. Actually, the examples that appear most of the times are SQL and non-SQL. And how can you use SQL and non-SQL, for instance, using Delaware. But yeah, I decided to pick GraphQL because it's not so common. And it's like something really fancy at the moment. And one thing that we have to note here is that ORMs on top of the databases are really, really important to avoid some of this kind of stuff. But they might not solve all your problems, so you still have to take that into consideration. And yeah, one of the things that is really important to think about when you think about injection is how can you prevent injection. And the main thing you have to do is to sanitize the user inputs that you have. So I never expect user input. So who ever forgot about this? It's really easy to forget. So imagine the following case. You have an amazing website, you are using the framework you really love, it's React, or Vue, or whatever, what comes next. And that's amazing. You are really happy, but the first time to interact to your page is getting slower somehow, and your client or your company is telling you, hey, this is really slow, I'm not getting what I want. Please make this a bit more performance. And your team decides to create not another page, but create a similar structure of the page that you have and prefetch React and the rest of the single page application. I hope I'm not lost everyone, but in the background. So you have like a skeleton, like Facebook does. So you go to the Facebook website in the beginning, they are not loading anything there. They are loading like a structure and they have the inline styles, I believe. So the first time to interact is really, really fast. Imagine that you have that. It's really easy to forget some of these things because React already does that for you. So it's just not going to give that for you for free if you are using what is it called, dangerously set binary HTML, I believe, something like that. So you are explicitly saying, I want to do some magic here and to open some room for injection or what's ahead. So actually in this case, I have a quick small demo that I hope I can share with you. I believe I'm sharing my whole screen now. So let me see. Okay, this was nice. Okay, so what I have here, I have an Express server running on 3000. It has like only one have to be requested, which is index. And I'm receiving a query parameter called loads, and I'm just running in them on the bottom. And yeah, let's run this. Let's see what happens. So bear with me. I'm going to use this very carefully. So if I do, if I do this, yeah, it's going to render. I will pretend that it's nice. And now the other thing that I wanted to show you is that if I try to load some kind of script here, Chrome is really, really helpful and is telling me, oh, I'm helping you here. I'm protecting you from cross-site scripting. I'm really, really, really happy. But imagine that you are using the latest Firefox with the first case. It's a low presenter. But if I do this, I can actually run JavaScript on your machine. Imagine if I'm doing something like this. So I create a tiny URL. You can see that. And I send this to over my friends. They have no idea what's going on here until the browser loads. And instead of having this alert here, I could have like sending all documents.cookies to some server. So, well, still on the latest Firefox, unfortunately. So going back to the slides, I have another one. So I never implemented strict CSP rules. So content security policy rules are some interesting rules to allow you to say, I just want this website, and this website to render something in the website that I own. So whoever implemented CSP rules here, just to have an idea. Okay, some people know a bit about this, some people don't, so I will have an example. And the example is using one of the most trending websites, which is Twitter, which I don't use that much, sorry. I will have to go to the network and then render this again so I can access the request. So if I go here to the header, you can see, hopefully, the content security policy that they have here is like huge. They are amazing in this case. So basically, they are setting all the details they need to allow or not allow to whitelist, I believe, the websites that they want. And I have like a pretty version of this somewhere in the Visual Studio. So this is the raw version that you saw, and I have the formatted version here. So yeah, they have the scripts, all the websites that they allow to add scripts to their website. So if they have some kind of script tag, the script tag needs to come from one of these websites. The fonts, media, and so on and so forth. So styles, where do the styles come from? The font are from Google API. Frame design for iframes. Who can add iframes in Twitter.com? Images and so on and so forth. The last one is really, really important. It doesn't seem to be, people usually don't talk that much about it, but it's basically, if there is an error, this is the URL that is going to receive the error. Okay, let me try to go back to the slides. Yeah, these are examples of cross-site scripting. Obviously, we have to handle them, to try to fix those, and not to allow our users to be exposed somehow. So the main thing is sanitize your input. Another one. I never forgot to validate user data properly. So it's quite related to the last one. You can still raise your hands, but I believe it's more or less the same people that did in the previous one. So I have an example with this one. I'm not going to show the code because it's not that interesting, and because some of you, just a few of you have tried GraphQL. So it has like a GraphQL server, and I have a front end which is in React, but it's supposed to be vanilla JavaScript. So I'm using on purpose. What was the name? The inner HTML to allow JavaScript to HTML. That's it. So yeah, what I have is basically this one. Where is it? Let me think. My turn. Yeah. So I have React server running here, and I have a GraphQL running here. I believe we don't have time for me to show the details, but it's not that important, I believe. Okay, it's basically rendering a list, hopefully you will get, of content that I have, and it's coming from a GraphQL API, and I can do a query, and it will retrieve all the posts, which are the posts that are here. There's some interesting stuff that we can do in this way to allow people to render stuff on our web page. So it's quite similar to the example I had before. In this case, I'm doing a GraphQL mutation, which is basically the root for add or create. In this case, creating a post, and I'm adding some content here, some interesting content. Oops, some interesting content here, which it's going to render. Imagine the case that I was telling you before, with someone optimizing some page over the website. So in this case, what happens? I added another post. That post had like a link tag, and that link tag got rendered in DOM. And because it got rendered in the DOM, and I was using naturally set HTML, or I could be using vanilla JavaScript without sanitizing my inputs. It's basically showing different colors and using Bootstrap in this case, which was what I had here. You can see it. So Bootstrap is being loaded here. So all these kind of things, we need to take them into consideration somehow. Okay, let me come back for the other. Hold on. Sharing? Yeah. So yeah. I don't know if you noticed, but when I was loading the Bootstrap, I was finding this version for the 3.1 and getting the Bootstrap, and there's a detail here called the integrity attribute, which basically goes and picks a specific hash for the file that we have here. So if we think that for the version 4.3.1, in this hash, I only want to get this specific file. It could have some problems if they publish another file with the same version, because I'm going to use this on my website, I might not be able to load it, right? And yeah, these are basically all examples of insecure deserialization. So having someone taking remote execution of the application. But there are some other topics where insecure deserialization could be on. One of them is using remote procedure calls or authentication tokens. So there's quite a lot of stuff that is interesting here. Also, when you have iframes, it's something that is really important to take into consideration, and when setting CSPs and so on. In iframes, you also have like an option to set the sandbox. So basically, when you set the sandbox, you can say this iframe only can load cannot load the video, for instance. You can specify those things. So it's really important to understand all of these fields and how we can play with them, I believe. And this one is also related to one other OWASP issue that we didn't talk about because there was very no time, and they are already telling me it's almost in the last slide, telling me to go on, which is insufficient logging and monitoring. Yeah, so we talked a bit. We talked a bit about the top 10 security issues and OWASP, and I hope you get some overview one is. I didn't talk about all of them, but most of them, I believe, the most interesting ones. And I guess that's mainly it. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed.